Hey everyone, it's Ben Hardy here, and in today's video, we're reviewing the BMW M3 Competition. Before we get in this video, I want to give a huge shout out and thank you to the BMW of Pleasant Grove, Utah for giving me some time with this M3. I'm going to include a link to their website in the description down below so you can check out what they have currently. If you have any questions, just ask for Brian. And then on a side note, if you want to save time and money the next time you purchase a car, link to my car buying guide in the description down below. Let's get into it. Powering this is a turbocharged 3-liter inline-six that goes through an 8-speed automatic transmission. Power outputs are 503 horsepower and then 479 pound-feet of torque. Now, before we go to the front end, I do want to mention, if you want to see more videos just like this, then I recommend you subscribe because I post content every single day. So starting with the hood, I do need to mention that this is technically a factory color, but also technically not. It's the Isle of Man green, but it has a satin paint protection film on it to give it this cool satin finish. Anyways, you guys can see really muscular design. Now, popping down below, we've got these really cool daytime running lights with the LED headlamps, and then look at the parking sensors here on the front end. And then of course we have our M3 Competition badge with the BMW logo there in the center. And putting it all together with this satin finish, I love the look. So coming on the side here, our tire and wheel setup is 275/35/19 in the front, and then 285/30/20 in the rear. So pretty dang staggered setup overall. Love the wheel design on the Competition BMWs, and then notice with the brake caliper how that is red. Pretty beefy looking fenders there, and then you can see M3 Competition, and then look at the ground effect there at the bottom. And then I love the mirrors, how those are body painted, and then same thing with the door handles, looks good. Now here is the full side view on the M3 Competition. Again, with the satin finish, it has a really muscular look. Now here's a quick look at the key fob. We have our unlock function or lock function, the opening here for the trunk, obviously the M colors there on the side as well. Now this is one of the things that makes the M3 so exciting, is it's very practical when it comes to the cargo space. As you can see, again, this is a sedan at the end of the day. That's pretty cool. You can just press the button and that will lower the trunk right down. Now I've got this low profile body painted spoiler, and while we're back here, carbon fiber roof as well, which is another cool element. And then look at the taillight design here, M3 Competition, and then we got super aggressive exhaust tips with that diffuser. Putting it all together, let me know your thoughts on the new M3, but you know, especially again in the satin finish, I'm a big fan of the style. Now popping inside, it's soft touch here at the top, and then you guys can see the trim down below, and then we've got some ambient lighting right there, and then BMW's signature door handle, and then I love the speakers here for the sound system. The seats are pretty cool. I love the little insert right there, and you can see perforated all down the center, and then we of course have the M colors on the seat belts as well. Now legroom back here is actually really good for a sports car, and then you guys can see we've got some vent action here, our own climate zone, some USBs as well, and we of course have I'll pull down here so you guys can see you can access the trunk there. But anyways, headroom, it's good. Now taking a look at the front door panel, you guys can see here again with all of the soft touch, the ambient lighting there at the front. All of our window controls, the mirrors do power fold in. You've got memory seats, blind spot monitoring with the mirrors as well. And then here are the front seats. You can see that they're aggressive, but then they also have quite a bit of padding as well. And then M colors there on the seat belt, all of your power adjustments. And of course we got the 2-pedal layout, and then you guys probably saw earlier with the light controls. Now taking a look at the steering wheel, you guys can see the leather trim all around. You got the M colors there on the center with the M logo at the bottom. Heated steering wheel button on the steering wheel. Lots of carbon fiber. You got carbon fiber on the paddle shifters too, which is another cool thing. You got your M1 and M2 modes on top of that. And then you guys can see here with the stocks there on the back. Now I've got this full digital gauge cluster here in the center. It has a pretty aggressive look overall. And then if we press the little like M mode button, then I can actually change kind of how things look when I change the drive mode. So like that's the sport mode, for example. And then this takes, man, this is kind of, I'll show you guys a little bit later. It's kind of, you know, a little bit weird to use it. And then you got the track mode too. So pretty cool look. Now in reverse, we do have a backup camera here with trajectory lines that turn the steering wheel. You also got that bird's eye view as well. And yeah, got the cool 3D view on top of that, even a car wash view, which is important for a car like this. But yeah, overall good camera system. And then as for the rest of the infotainment system, this is just BMW's new giant screen layout, as you can see. So it responds really well overall. And you know, I'd have to say that it's actually one of my preferred infotainment systems, just because like you always have access to the climate, super easy, and yeah, it's just great overall. Now the M mode setup, this is what I was talking about. So like you press a button to then press on the screen, and then obviously goes away after that. And then if you want to go into track, then you have to press that. And then you have to press this. So I think it's a little bit too redundant with that, but then it turns off the screen for track mode. Now, really nice trim here on the dash, as you can see. Then we've got carbon fiber with this one. And then you've got little volume control right there for the radio, and then the defroster, all that. And then cool carbon fiber trim with that. And then we got a wireless phone charging pad, some cup holder action, 12 volt, all of that. And then we have our little dial here for the infotainment system if you don't want to use the touchscreen. And then we have our M shifter here, which you guys can see you can make the shift points more or less aggressive with that. And it's cool with the M logo there on the top. Parking brake behind it. And you can see the auto hold, and then that's for the exhaust to make it louder or quieter. And then your overall setup for like the drive mode stuff, your M modes, and then you guys can see here with like display control, auto stop, start, parking sensors, camera, all of that. But yeah, cool little center stack. And then we've got the center console here, some USB action, nice padding on the top, and then look at that with the glove box, good storage space, and then no sunroof because carbon fiber roof. Well, let's talk about visibility before we set off. Here's your visibility over the hood, and hopefully you can see the heads-up display. Both the mirrors just do a blind spot monitoring, and throughout the rest of the rear. And, whoops, I always mess up when I use the M shifter the first time. Let's set off in the M3 Competition. And, you know, I'm excited to do a review on this because I just reviewed the M4 Competition, the other, what was that, like I think it was just a week ago. I've completely lost track of time, honestly. I did a little bit of a trip this week to Los Angeles for an event, and also that fuel range said like 15 miles when I first got in, and now it says 2 miles. What the heck? Where's my fuel going? So we're gonna turn off the climate controls, just to be safe with that. Why is this? That's weird. So it had the heated and cooled seat on. Interesting, very, very interesting. But what I will say initially, definitely feels like an M car. It's aggressive, and I don't even have this in like the most aggressive setting. This is, you know, basically your comfort setting. And you know what, that's the thing with BMW M cars is they are tuned, obviously it's an M car, right? It's tuned towards the performance side, so everything is more on edge, but handling's amazing. And you know, although it is harsher with the suspension, it's not, I wouldn't call it uncomfortable. It's, I shouldn't say harsher, I'd say it's stiff. That's a good way to put it. It's stiff, but you know, I honestly don't mind it. I think that it's I think they've struck a pretty good balance here. These seats, by the way, are really comfortable. I know you can get more aggressive like carbon fiber bucket seats, but I mean, especially if you're going to daily drive this thing, I would probably get these ones because, you know, having the heated and cooled function, and, you know, with these just being more comfortable, I think that that's kind of the route that I would go with this car. Yeah, good power from the engine too, and the transmissions, again, in this setting, it's very look at that, the fuel range changed again. Now we have what the heck? It's like, I don't know what I'm doing. But whew. Yeah, definitely stiff. So I've got this in the sport mode and with the aggressive transmission setting. Oh man, that is fun. Well, let me go in the manual mode. It's got so much torque. There we go, so we got manual mode now. Yeah, it's just super razor sharp with that. Yeah, that's fun. So we'll kind of pull this back a little bit. But, you know, I've driven, here's the deal, is I've driven the M4 Competition a few other times. So if you want to see, like, I guess more of this size of M car driving, then, you know, go watch the competition reviews too, or the M4 Competition reviews. But what I'm noticing about the M3 is it doesn't drive any different than the M4. Honestly, the only difference is 2-door versus 4-door. In the name, obviously. And that's what I think is kind of funny about the situation is, like, M3s are so hard to get, and they're so expensive because they're hard to get. But like, if you're willing to have 2 doors instead of 4 doors, which most people, I doubt they're using this as a family car anyways, then you save yourself so much time and money and effort to try to find one of these. I get it. I think the 4-door look is cool. I think the M3 name is great. But yeah, I mean, it drives just like the M4 Competition. And you know, when it comes to that driving, it's not the best daily driver because it is stiff, but it's really fun. It's got this nice performance edge to it. It sounds good. It handles amazingly well. I think that's the thing that I like the most about this is honestly, like, the acceleration's great, but I like the handling. The handling is the part, like, look at this, just going around. It's so razor sharp. So that's the fun part about this is it's like, oh, this is and maybe that's why people like the M3 so much, is like, oh, I could put my kids in the back, right? 4 doors, but it also just, it's the sports car. So let me know your thoughts on the M3 and let me know if you'd go M3 or M4.